Testing 1, 2, 3. It does look indeed like my voice is coming through fine, so hey! Greetings and salutations everyone. I'm Mech. This is Final Fantasy Dawntrail. Almost, there's one little cutscene I wanted to show. How goes your endeavour to attach materia, Ibuki? Have this staghorn staff. The crystallized essence of past experience, so easily inherited. This is all rather silly. Would it not be more simple to simply attach materia directly to self? Gigi would be glad to try inserting crystals into Greenhorn's skull. No, bad Gigi! That isn't how materia works! Oh, please don't misunderstand him, Ibuki. I'm sure he means well. As for your staff, it's very well made and the materia is perfectly melded. Nicely done. Perhaps you're wondering who would prefer a staff with a headpiece of bone over one studded with jewels. Well, the thaumaturges favour such equipment. Fangs and horns are the weapons of beasts, used to kill and defend. Few materials are better suited for channeling the dark arts. Or so I understand. I'm the furthest thing there is from a trained thaumaturge, but even I can sense the arcane magics residing within the staff. Anyway, I trust you've learned something today about the importance of searching through the markets and how to handle materia. Hopes this knowledge serves you well in your future endeavours. The Goldsmith run is comedy gold, but only because of Gigi. The fact that he just does not respect you in the slightest. Anyway, we don't have Dawntrail unlocked yet, but I have the very final quests to do so because I feel like there's a character introduced at the very tail end of the level 90 quests that we are going to need to understand, and so I've been saving her introduction. Everyone hates her. I say everyone in quotation marks though because people that I've actually talked to don't seem to mind her, but there's social media, etc. Angry mob mentality, you know how it is. Ibuki, I hope you enjoyed the festivities. To be able to celebrate Azdaya's return with everyone else was moving beyond words. Lest you wonder, I've chosen to use this vessel for now to better escort my sister around Radzat-Han. This leaves my true form without an eye, but I do not anticipate having need of it in the immediate future. Long have I dreamed of showing Azdaya my beautiful city, the glittering jewel born of unity, and I shall relish every moment of it. Now then, I believe both Ishola and Estinian have embarked on their respective journeys, but have you yourself business elsewhere? If not, you are welcome to remain here as long as you like. Should aught of import arise, we will inform you, but until such a day arrives, I bid you take your ease. Meanwhile, in old Sharlayan.
Everything appears to be in order. Oh, finished at last. So time-consuming. How nice would it be to have a mammoth to handle such tasks? Now then, let's have a look at you. Quite old, this letter. We'll need to store it carefully. Addressed to grandfather, and come all the way from Tuliolal, from a Gulu someone. Oh, The ink's too faded. Hardly anything is legible. Come on, give me something. A commission to investigate the Golden City in Tural. How odd. No one ever mentioned such a commission, nor have I seen any records. Something else in here. What an unusual earring. How does it relate to the petition, I wonder? Oh, did you go there, Grandfather? To the Golden City in Tural?
The idea of a golden city just makes me think of Emperor's New Groove, and I want to make jokes about that. Oh, that's unrealistic. A boat making it to the other side without any events whatsoever.
Back again already, after making a show of leaving.
You just can't get away from us, can you?
Well, this is it, Charlene. Quite a far cry from Tuliolal, yes? Come, let's go and find your candidate, our adventurer friend.
So, an interesting little thing that comes to mind, Varshan is basically a dragon that hoards people. He likes them very much. Just this morning I actually saw a comic on Reddit about a dragon girl that hoards sheep, because hoard and herd are very similar. Don't bother the shepherdess with tresses of red. When one door closes, Varshan has a message from Charlene. Ah, Ibuki, one of my clerks was just here with a message for you. The students of Baldessian request your presence in Charlene at your earliest convenience. Indebted as I am to our friends, I had hoped that I too might be of service, but it is you alone they require. If you've no present business, pray make your way to Baldessian Annex at once. Ojika awaits your arrival. In the meantime, I shall continue showing as Daya the city. From notable landmarks to the people's lives, there is still much and more for her to see. Farewell for now, my friend. I look forward to the day we set forth on another adventure together. When one door closes is started here. I don't expect to see anyone showing up, but I actually have a minion roulette button. I thought it might be funny to just click this randomly every now and then and see what sort of people show up or what minions it summons. And a mount roulette button, even though this character actually has very few mounts. Oh, warm and hearty welcome to you, Ibuki. I gather you received our message? Please wait here while I fetch Growl and Graha. Thank you for coming on such short notice. And forgive us for sending for you so soon after your trials in the void. Now then, we aren't actually the ones who required your presence, but Erinville. He stopped by recently, you see, and asked us to reach out to you on his behalf. I imagine you're as surprised as we are, given that he was supposed to be away on a long expedition. Something must have necessitated a change in his plans. All he would tell me is that there is someone whom he wishes Ibuki to meet. He also mentioned that he would be tending to business at the studium. Shall we look for him there? So something I'll need to do sometime in the next few months is get a little image blocker box that I can drop down on top of my chat bar so I can censor people showing up in it, because I plan on doing most of this solo, but there are going to be trials that you can't do solo, and so I'll have to queue up with people. I don't expect to have trouble doing that because this is a tank, but I feel like I owe people their privacy when streaming. Now, where's Erenville?
Erenville!
Apologies for the wait. I hope I haven't called you away from anything important. I chanced upon some commissioned items at my destination, so I thought I might deliver them.
Where did you go, if I may ask?
The New World. Tural.
You went to Tural? Then the person who you wish to introduce...
Aye, she hails from there. I present to you...
Well, it seems you've lost her.
Did she wander off?
Sorry. It's just so different here. I can't help but want to explore.
Well, while you were exploring, your candidate came to us. This is her, the adventurer you crossed the seas to meet.
Ooh, you weren't exaggerating. It's plain she's no ordinary woman.
Technically
I'm
new race.
Uklamat, claimant to the throne of Tuliyollal.
Tuliyollal.
It's Tural's governing nation. The capital bears the same name.
I'll get to the point. I want you to come with me to my homeland.
Given the magnitude of the request, perhaps you should explain why you're making it?
She came to the point too quickly.
Of course. Soon, an event of great import will be held in Tural. The right of succession. Taking the form of a contest, it will determine who next ascends the throne. As daughter to its present keeper, I will participate. And I have every intention of winning. I was searching for champions to join me when Erenville told me about you. A mighty warrior who knows no fear, who sweeps aside terrible fiends as if they were reeds, who flew to the edge of existence and saved our star.
And don't forget the time that I stole an old man's armor and left him to freeze to death.
She asked who Eorzea's greatest hero was, and so I told her. Much more elegantly, I might add.
Now you know why. You'll come to Tural, yes?
Wait, let's all just slow down. Wuklamat, was it? You claim to be of the royal family, but is it not the Mamulja who rule in Tural?
Tulihyolal is a nation of many peoples. Not only the Mamulsha, as some across the seas are quick to assume. That said, its present ruler is a Mamulsha, and one blessed with two heads besides. He's also my father. Not by blood, obviously, but he raised me as his own, and that's what matters.
So that is the way of it. My apologies if I was indelicate.
Gotta love Grahatia's emotive ears.
Hardly. I know little about your land, and nothing about your parentage. But in my eagerness, I've gotten ahead of myself. I can't expect you to agree on the spot when we've only just met. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Just know, though, that if it's adventure you seek, you could do far worse than come with me. Now, this is only a rumor. But apparently, the contest will involve the fabled city of gold and the legendary beast, Valyarmanda. Tell me that doesn't pique your interest.
The Golden City? I've heard about it before.
So the tales have reached even these shores. Can't help but feel proud.
I advise you not to put much store by these rumors. Golden cities are not but a dreamer's fancy.
Says the dreamer who was bent on finding one when he was a child. Just because you failed doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Tulihyolal and the Golden City. Just like in the letter to Grandfather.
Regardless of what the contest may entail, it'll be no simple thing. If I'm to triumph, I'll need capable and dependable companions. So let's go on a hunt together. There's no better way to get acquainted.
She's very eager. Man, that was all one quest. We basically just teleported to one spot. And then we already finished. The game is afoot. Grahatia appears equal parts bewildered and excited. Oh no, I'm standing on Cryo. The chance to not only see Turab, but the fabled Golden City. This is the stuff of grand adventures, my friend. Which is not to say you should hastily accept this invitation, mind. There's still a great deal we do not know. So let us begin to rectify that first by getting acquainted with our visitor in the manner she suggests. I'm not certain what might be a suitable location for her hunt, however. When I was at the guild earlier, I learned about a petition from researchers on the Isle of Ham. You went there not long ago and culled some unruly fauna, of course, but according to recent reports, other ordinarily docile fauna have grown savage. It's believed they've been unsettled by some manner of predator, and the researchers seek assistance with identifying and dispatching it. As part of your hunt, might you answer the petition? The isle isn't far, we would be helping those in need. That works for me. Just so you know, I've honed my skills against some of the fiercest beasts in Turab. Whatever this creature is, we'd had better put up a proper fight, or it'll end before we have a chance to get acquainted. Before we can prove ourselves capable and dependable companions. My apologies, but I must see to some preparations. Pray go on ahead to the island. I will join you as soon as possible. Never trust a scheming Lalafell. If the rest of you are ready, let us head to the harbour. This being guild ship business, it should be simple enough to secure a vessel. Alright, so... maybe I should have gone the other way to get to an Aetherite Shard. I have been leveling Ibuki up a little bit, so she's not level 100 yet, but she is getting there. I don't think you get very many interesting things for 90 to 100 though. Great Nebula increases, so it increases the power of our strongest defensive cooldown that isn't the ultimate. An upgrade to Rampart and her melee attacks. Become ready to raise after executing Fated Circle, so that makes our AoE combo better. Enhanced Reprisal. Increase the duration of Reprisal to 15 seconds. Grant the effect of Ready to Rain after executing Bloodfest. I believe that is an ultimate attack. Rain of Beasts. Deliver an attack to target and all enemies nearby it, with a potency of 800 for the first and 60% less for all other enemies. It also gives us Noble Blood and Lionheart, so this is actually a combo attack. Deliver an attack to target and all enemies with 900 potency. Deliver an attack with a potency of 1000 to target and all enemies. But it's also very close range, so it's not quite as good as the Paladin combo, being able to hit from across the room. But either way, it'll be interesting to see when we actually get to it. So we have to take a ship? Ugh, and I've barely set foot on dry land. Oh well, I suppose it's for a good cause. A hunt. Come on, let's get going. Upon boarding the ship, several scenes will play in sequence. Set aside sufficient time to view these scenes. You'll be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. If you enter battles associated with other quests or log out, this progress will be lost. Am I going to just end up giving Wouklamart the Emily voice as well? She's not French.
From here, we must walk.
So much ice. It rivals even Yogg-Tural. Oh, a white bear! I wonder what it tastes like.
Remember, we're here to deal with creatures that have been deemed an unacceptable danger. Do not attack anything else unprovoked.
I'm pretty sure polar bears are actually the most dangerous type of bear because they're the one that considers humans to be actively a prey source, and they will actually stalk you for ages, learning your routine so they can catch you off guard.
I know. So this is the isle where ether literally bursts forth.
Aye, the Isle of Ham. The geysers lie deep inland, however.
You really are knowledgeable. Kona told me nothing about this place.
I doubt your brother managed to come out this way. He's like to have toured facilities like Labyrinthos, however.
The great big cavern under the city. It's amazing that they could make a sky down there complete with a sun.
This brother of yours, he has been to Sharlayan.
He has. Kona's my second older brother, and until recently he was a student in this city. He went on and on about technological amusements. It made me want to come here too one day. And so I did. I think I understood something of how he felt when I set foot in his beloved studio.
He went to the studio? Your brother must be quite a scholar. But I wonder, like you, he'd be royalty, yes? With such a personage coming to Sharlayan to receive an education would surely have caused a stir, yet I recall nothing of the sort.
He's not a scholar, he's a machinist. An easy mistake to make.
He consulted with the head of the studium beforehand, that his identity might remain secret. Being Mikote, he had no trouble blending in. He's adopted like me, you see. One time, though, he almost let it slip to a professor. It was all he could do to parry the barrage of questions.
Having no shortage of questions myself, I can imagine.
Ask whatever you like. I don't mind. But I maintain, hunting together is the best way to get to know someone.
The researchers should be up ahead. Let's find them and learn what we can.
We're a silent protagonist, like we'd be asking her any questions we'd like. Search for signs of your prey. Your item level
The
is
researcher
instinct
should be
to
just
660.
ahead.
That's basically what our gear
There.
already was.
The building to the northeast.
So ordinarily harmless creatures have grown savage.
Don't know what's got them riled up, but I'll take down anything to try me. Right, let's find our kill.
They did recently change how Gunbreaker works. Now the National Fang combo I need to focus on hitting things. Now the National Fang combo stacks twice, so that's basically the only thing you're going to be expected to use in No Mercy.
Look! Someone's in trouble!
Provided that No Mercy is provided that your Gnashing Fangs combo is actually available at the level you're at. Unfortunately, this level is. Oh, thank goodness you've come. I take it you're the one who answered our petition. Wait, aren't you? You are! Ibuki, the adventurer who saved our star! Would that our meeting was under better circumstances. I was conducting a routine inspection of the transporter here when I suddenly found myself surrounded. You'd be hard-pressed to find you'll find more of them across the chasm. Once docile animals grown strangely aggressive. My colleagues there can tell you more. If you'll give me just a moment, I can finish checking our equipment.
You really are famous.
And for good reason, as you'll soon see for yourself.
We're the great painter Alphino's assistants. Yeah, it should be safe to cross.
Quite an interesting contraption you've got here.
Is that our petitioner? Let's go and have a chat.
Adventure come to answer our petition. My petition, I presume? We're most fortunate to have one of your considerable skill here to aid us. A creature of unknown origins has been sighted on the island in recent days, and we believe its presence has affected the local fauna. The animals beyond this gate are the worst affected we've encountered thus far, though we dare not go back. Your task is to quell any threats you find, search for traces of the beast responsible for all of this. If you should find anything at all, we will be most grateful if you would share it with us. Let's get started!
I'll handle this.
Oh, she's just opening up with the limit break. Oh fine, don't leave anything for me to do.
Is that all? Come on, let's pick up the creature's trail.
Okay, beast carcass over here. You find ravaged beast remains, torn to shreds by sharp talons.
These claw marks. I've seen their like before. It's starting to feel like a proper hunt.
Okay, there's the limits of the instance, so here's tattered plumage. You find feathers scattered about the ground. There are signs of a fierce struggle.
Feathers? But did they belong to the predator or the prey?
So, how do you prefer our prey? Roasted or raw?
You presume it's even safe to eat?
There's definitely a strong childhood friendship going on here between Erenville and Wook Lamar. The cloying stench of fresh leavings assails your nostrils. Whatever beast left them is most likely still close by.
Still fresh. Whatever this beast, it cannot be far.
Oh, hi.
Who knows? If they're spoiling for a fight, they've got one.
The other thing that they did for the Gunbreaker is Bloodfest now increases the maximum charges you can hold. So no matter when you are in your rotation, you can immediately hit Bloodfest along with your No Mercy, and you've immediately got your max damage rotation prepared. The only thing that can screw you up is if mechanics force you to move away. Which, to be fair, in high-end content happens a lot. If only we were a tank or something.
Powerful wings and razor-sharp talons. Worthy prey. Ah! What is that thing?
It's a kill stealer.
It speaks?
It's big enough to have a bit of greenery on its head.
It's heading towards the falls.
I'll stay with the researchers. The creature, I leave to you.
Erenville is most
Come,
definitely
Woklamat.
never going to be a combat class, but he still finds ways to be
Right.
useful.
Just so we're clear, I wasn't startled by the beast earlier. It caught me by surprise, that's all.
Forgive me, but I fail to see a difference.
I'm getting hungry. Let's be done with this so we can eat.
Caught me by surprise! Caught me by surprise!
Think you're clever, huh? I'll rip off that beak and roast you on a spit!
And now for an instance boss fight, and we are 36 minutes in.
Talk how you like, Bird. I'm going to have the last laugh. Oh, I seem to enjoy sinking my teeth into you.
It is definitely leaving some stings in the Vision's armor.
Shut up already, you blasted bird! Together.
Trying to, but oh. Okay, that one is very mean. I didn't realize you could actually die to that mechanic, but the thing is, they didn't stack together like you normally expect them to in trusts. Honestly, it's kind of embarrassing that I died to that.
Talk how you like,
I
Bird.
lost my
I'm going to
ammo.
have the last laugh. Oh, I'm going to enjoy sinking my teeth into you. Shut up already, you blasted bird! Quickly, gather together! I've got you!
That was too close.
Steady now!
Yeah, seasonal tickets, I think actually might be better off to burn early rather than late, because the longer you go, the more likely you already have them.
Spread out, everyone!
Really? Again? Why did you run to the other side? Is really intent on me not getting my full universal combo of the medicine.
That was hardly a tickle. Nothing to it. We have you now, you loud bastard!
For everything you have of it.
Oh, I just can't get my no mercy off. It's like it's cursed or something.
And I had barely limbered up.
It was a terrible foe, but no match for your axe.
Only to be expected. You were pretty impressive yourselves. I was right to invite you on a hunt. But what a curious bird that was. Though we have similar in Tural, they don't grow so big or use such dirty tricks.
Dirty tricks! Dirty tricks!
Aye, dirty and despicable. Otherwise, I could have easily...
Leave this to me! Have at you!
Cryle.
I am terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
And she is our flagship class
She
for
arrived as I
Dawntrail.
was seeing the researchers to safety. It was all I could do to keep up with her after I explained what happened.
So this is what you meant by seeing to preparations?
After hearing of the contest, I thought how wonderful it would be to join you. In coming here, I wanted to demonstrate my skill at arms to Wuklamut. Alas, it seems I missed most of the action.
That was amazing! The piece didn't stand a chance!
I'm glad to have been of service.
Pretty accurate to how Pictomancers are in the actual game, given that they're exceptionally busted.
May I ask what inspired this change?
You will recall the time you descended to the ethereal sea in search of Heidelin. Recognizing that my skills were inadequate. I chose to provide support from afar, rather than join you. It was the same when you set forth for Ultima Thule. How it pained me to stay behind, again and again. That's what inspired this change. Ever since the final days were averted, I've used every spare moment to hone my craft. As you all have adapted your methods to suit the circumstances, I started by considering how I might best contribute. And after much deliberation, I arrived at my answer. With the esoteric art passed down by the legendary Archon realm, Pictomancy. As I recall, you have embraced versatility to effectively complement a certain someone's style. What I do is much the same. Like you, I don't want to be left behind.
He feels so called out.
Indeed. I must say, you appear to be especially keen on being involved in the ritual of succession. Is there any particular reason?
Yes, there is. This letter from Tuliolal. It was addressed to my grandfather Galuf, and turned up among the students' archives. The ink was faded, so I couldn't fully make out the sender's name. Galul, someone.
Jaja. Gulul Jaja. That's my father, the Dawn servant. What does the letter say?
While much of it isn't legible, it appears to be a request to investigate the Golden City.
A request to investigate the Golden City? From the Dawn servant himself?
Well, well. Seems it may be more than a rumor after all.
Being a member of the royal family, it was my hope that you could confirm the authenticity of this letter.
I can say for a fact that my father didn't write this. Given how culturally diverse Tuliolal is, it was decided some time ago that a common language was needed. But instead of elevating an existing tongue and its speakers above all others, we looked to those widely spoken overseas and created an altogether new one. The similarities to your common tongue also make it quite easy to communicate in these situations, no? This letter, however, is entirely in Eorzean. If Father had written this, he would have been in Turali.
I honestly forgot the plot twist that the letter wasn't written by him.
And what's more, it bears a wax seal. We don't bother with them.
So the letter is fraudulent, then?
Oh, I didn't mean to say that. My father's signature is genuine, as far as I can tell, so perhaps he simply dictated it.
I see. Oh, thank you for the confirmation. It seems my grandfather indeed had dealings with Tuliolal. I can't help but be curious as to what exactly he was doing there. In order to help us decide on a course of action, would you mind if I asked you some questions about your home?
By all means. After all, learning about one another was the purpose of this hunt. We can talk while feasting on this fellow. I, for one, am starving.
We're eating that.
Maybe you should leave that to the professionals, ma'am. With the pilot wildlife pacified and the researchers safe, our task is complete. That just leaves the matter of the Colberry meat. For better or worse, there's only one place we can take it here in Charlian, the last stand. Come, let us see what Dyken can kill up for us. Man, that instance has pushed us close but not quite to the to the full hour mark. I'm hoping that I can at least get through these last few quests before actually unlocking Dawntrail. Maybe we can see the opening cutscene and make it inside the city, but that'll definitely be pushing it. But that said, I feel like Wookla Martin production deserves to be part of the series. Well now, there's a famished face if I've ever seen one. What can I get you, Ibuki? Oh, bird meat from the hunt, you say? Leave it to me, I have just the recipe. It's a new dish I learned recently from some sailors, and for you lot, it's on the house. Have as much as you like, you hear?
Come. Let's enjoy the bounty of our first outing together. I'd heard that Charlian cuisine was terrible, but this is fantastic.
The Yarkin bread.
What is this? Oh, it smells spicy.
Oh, come now. Since when did you become so soft? It's not like we don't have spicy food in Tural, too.
According to Dickon, intensely hot dishes have become popular in Razadhan after a traveller ordered a curry with several times the usual amount of spice.
I wonder who that could be.
So he started offering the same in order to please the growing Harnish population here in Charlian.
It's nothing I can't handle.
You're gonna hurt yourself trying to be so enthusiastic.
Your boorish manners reflect poorly on the both of us. I wish you would consider your station.
I swear, sometimes it feels like you open your mouth only to criticize.
I mean, we haven't known him that long, and I would say that's a pretty accurate statement.
Would I be correct in assuming you've known each other for a long time?
Aye, thick as thieves since we were little.
I beg to differ. She is a long-standing acquaintance. Nothing more.
I see.
All this time you were from Tural. Oh, would that I had known sooner. There's so much I'd like to ask.
You and everyone else. I've kept it quiet so as to avoid the endless interrogations.
Well, if he's going to be a miser, I'll be happy to tell you about our homeland instead. Since ancient times, many peoples have called Tural home, and they've been fighting each other for nearly as long. The fighting finally stopped some 80 years ago, when the reigning Dawn Servant unified the disparate communities and founded a new nation
And that's how Tuliolal came to be.
Since then, we've enjoyed an era of uninterrupted peace. But my father is getting old, and he wishes to relinquish the throne to a worthy successor. One who can preserve his legacy. Including myself, there are 4 claimants to the throne. But while we all have the right to participate, one among us cannot be allowed to rule.
A man who is too ambitious by half. Word of the Garlean Empire's collapse has reached Tural. While most are simply relieved, he sees weakness to exploit and would lead our armies across the seas on a campaign of conquest.
After everything my father has done to give us peace, he would drag us back into war. I can't allow it. No matter what, I must win this contest.
I understand your reasons. But this being an event that will dictate the course of your nation's future, is it appropriate for outsiders like us to be involved?
You got that snow, or should I deal with it?
It's more than appropriate. The Dawn Servant himself expressly encourages it. The ruler of Tural must navigate the intricacies of myriad cultures, and there's no better way to prove oneself qualified to do so than to work with foreign allies. That's why I sought you out. Through our hunt, I've confirmed that you're a warrior of considerable skill, but more importantly, one of good character as well. And so I ask you, will you lend me your strength and help me win the throne of Tuliolal? You don't need to decide right this moment. But I will need you if I'm to triumph over the competition. I'll stay here as long as I can while waiting for your answer.
In that case, allow us to prepare a room for you at the Baldessian Annex.
That's very kind of you. Oh, and one more thing. Once we finish eating, would you mind if I took the rest of the meat?
Got a bit of a one-track mind there, Wooklamart. So yeah, it is setting up a few of the stakes to be expected in the next expansion. Whether Wooklamart has the makings of a ruler, I couldn't say. But I do know that she cares deeply for her nation and her people. Whether you choose to help her, though, is yours and you're alone to decide. Think on it well. Now, it's past time I reported our mission success to the guild ship. I would have done so sooner, except Her Highness needed to have her royal meal. I shall come by the annex later. Till then. Actually, the donations have been reset. I need to remember to go offload some silver pieces later. Grahatia is mulling over what you have learned of Wooklamart and her plan. Well, I dare say we now have a fair grasp of Wooklemart's situation. Since you've been afforded time to consider her invitation, why not use it to learn more about Tural? Newman is bound to have some information on the continent. Just the thought of burying myself in books is making me sleepy. We're talking about mysterious lands and unknown wonders here. I'm confident we'll find reports so thrilling as to drive any thoughts of napping from your head. Come, my friend, let us be off to the archives. It's fun to play the serious Warrior of Light, but it's equally fun to play the Gooberhead Warrior of Light. There's no quick teleport there, so I guess best we have to go to the Studium. Also, the idea would ideally be to not let the place get conquered in the first place. Just don't let that fourth claimant get to rule. The origins of blue magic can be traced back to the esoteric practices of the Wallachui, a tribe in the distant continent of Tural. The tribe holds nature in the highest regard, and in seeking to cultivate a spiritual connection with it, they have learned to harness the power of wildlife around them. In exchange for teaching them the common tongue, I was permitted to live among them and train in their ways. Those days were some of the most grueling I remember, but they were tremendously rewarding. For instance, I had the privilege of visiting Lapis Canyon, the tribe's sacred grounds. It is so named for the cerulean deposit that wells up to the surface, turning the entire canyon a brilliant blue. Under a shaman's watchful eye, I managed to finally master the Wallachui's art and make the animal's powers my own. As no name existed for it in the common tongue, I took the liberty of naming it Blue Magic. The reason I chose this colour, as you will have doubtless gleaned, is for the significance it holds to the Wallachui. I cannot think of a name more fitting to honour the people from whom this noble magic was born. People were kind of annoyed for Blue Magic turning out to be a gimmick class that you have to go build party finder groups for rather than just queue up for it as is, but I feel like they didn't really have any better options for that, because either people complain about how restrictive Blue Magic is and how it isn't very vulnerable to what the class actually is, or people complain about idiot Blue Mages going in with no spells. Let us begin by comparing the geographical characteristics of the Great Continents and Tural. The former stretches from east to west and lies entirely within the Northern Hemisphere. In contrast, the latter extends to the far reaches of both Northern and Southern Hemispheres, and the difference immediately presents itself in the format of climate variance. I want to say the new limited class is Beastmaster. Shifts in climate tend to be gentler from moving east and west, but harsh when moving north and south. Owing to this fact, longitudinal migration is far more common in history, whether it be by men, animals, or plants. A case in point is the Alligans, who rose to power in Aldenard before advancing east into Ilzabard. Their movement would be mirrored thousands of years later by the Garleans. Meanwhile, although disparate tribes of Tural waged war with one another for generations, stymied by the climate, none could make any great headway north or south. Tribes hailing from frozen lands withered beneath the desert sun, while those that thrived in open plains could not pierce dense jungle. Such was the way of it, until the leader of the Mamuja succeeded in bringing the continent under one banner. Given the land's divided history and the reason thereof, one cannot help but be in awe of this feat. Truly, it is a testament to the Autarch's greatness. Can I actually see the class here? It doesn't look like they've added the new limited job yet. It might be planned for the next expansion, not Dawntrail. Every land has given rise to unique wildlife, and the continent of Tural is no exception. Yet, while some of our creatures have become a familiar sight in Eosa, many and more exist that are rarely seen this side of the Indigo Deep. This tome introduces a selected variety of species as described in testimonies of sailors and adventurers. Alpaca. Accustomed to Tural's craggy mountain ranges, this four-legged beastkin has been domesticated for seemingly hundreds, if not thousands of years. Their soft white fleeces highly prized by weavers, while their strong legs and sure-footedness make them capable beasts of burden. Wyver. This ferocious scalekin is native to the dense jungles of Tural. The Mamuja have succeeded in taming them and utilizing their prodigious strength for manual labor. Given their immense size and power, it should come as no surprise that the wyver is also employed as a siege beast. enemy fortifications cannot last cannot long withstand this horned brute's rampage. Valley Ramanda, Turali folklore holds that this bird-like creature is the mightiest of beasts, and the very embodiment of nature's power. Whether it exists beyond myth, however, is uncertain. Let's bring in a new name. Unblemished Book. It is impossible to adequately discuss Eorzan cuisine without speaking of that which came from where many of our modern-day staples hail, the far western continent of Tural. Ogre pumpkins, ruby tomatoes, even the ubiquitous popoto. These crops and more that regularly grace Eorzan dining tables trace their origins to the New World, as the place is known to most. The tale of this culinary immigration begins in the year 1498 of the 6th Astral Era, when a Liminsan sailor named Ketanram successfully traversed the Indigo Deep to arrive at theretofore unknown continent. Ketanram spent several moons exploring inland, in the course of which he encountered the denizens of the sprawling nation of Mamuljar. He was even granted an audience with their supreme leader, whose confidence he won along with permission to roam freely. Ketanram would return to Tural several times, but during his first expedition he charted land and gathered myriad root vegetables and seeds to bring back to Limsa. The most notable of these was the popoto, whose ease of cultivation and nutritional values quickly saw it spread to all corners of Eorzan. Produce was far from the only bounty of Ketanram's expeditions to Tural. Many tantalizing recipes such as the bean-filled burrito and gripping legends such as that of the Golden City reached our shores by way of his ship. To those outside of Ketanram's circle, Tural largely remains shrouded in mystery, yet its influence on our cuisine cannot be overstated. Many scholars, myself included, would relish the chance to immerse themselves in the culinary culture of that faraway continent. Having perused a wide selection of books related to Tural, you are somewhat better informed about your potential destination. Krahat here will be eager to know what you have discovered. Should you wish to read these books again, speak with the reference page. I don't like the sound of it, but maybe that's just because I'm Australian and I have a lot of strong thoughts about the damage caused by invasive species. The pride of the studium and parent institution to the Great Google Library, this massive collection of scrolls and tomes is the largest of its kind. Knowledge from every corner of the world is collected here. In efforts to compile the Bibliotheca Historica, the ultimate repository of wisdom, is an endeavour without end. Scoured the library to your satisfaction, have you? Excellent. While there are a few books wholly dedicated to the subject of Tural, I dare say you found tidbits of useful information scattered here and there. But come, let's continue this outside. The mammoths do not take kindly to chatter. Now then, I'm quite keen to hear your honest impressions. I couldn't help but notice that we read the very same book on cuisine, and was pleasantly surprised to find references to Tural within. Among them, did anything in particular pique your interest? The legendary City of Gold! Ha! I suspected any mention of the City of Gold would catch your eye. 'Tis truly a mystery among mysteries. Here is a city whose location is unknown, that no one has ever seen, and yet whispers of its existence continue to persist. Countless souls have set off in search of it, never to return. I can imagine it being a suitable challenge for the ritual of its succession. But moving on, did you perhaps chance learn about the fauna of Tural? Given your adventuring background, I expect the topic would interest you. I learned about Valley Mazra. Now, why do I get the impression you're imagining pitting your skills against the fell beast? Unfortunately, I found scant details on your would-be prey. One source simply described it as an enormous winged creature with scales hard as steel that rules the skies. I should like to see it with my own eyes, presuming it even exists. I thought I heard familiar voices. Fancy running into the two of you here. Well, well, have some research of your own, do you? Aye, we hope to arm ourselves with knowledge that may benefit the Garlean people. Having forged a new trade agreement with Reds at hand, they will next look to foster relations with other nations. This includes former imperial provinces. In view of this, we hope to find hints on history on how neighbours of different races and ideologies may engage with one another. And what of you two? What endeavour brings you here this day? A nation comprised of the disparate peoples of Tural. I dare say this is precisely the kind of example we seek. We'd do well to read up on Tuliolo ourselves. The contest. Is Ibuki the only one allowed to help Wuklamat? There was no mention of such restrictions as I call. On the contrary, Wuklamat gave us the impression she could have several champions. I think I know how to make the most of our respite. Follow me, Alphino. We have planning to do. Let's say, wait! It would seem our plans have changed, if you'll excuse me. They never could rest on their laurels. Come, let us return to the annex. Annex, not the axe. We're a gunbreaker, not a warrior. It'll be faster to run. Well, maybe a tad slow, but it's already too late to change our course.
It's just... Despite all that we've learned, I can't help but feel we've yet to hear the whole story. What about you, my friend? Are you inclined to accept or refuse Wuklamat's request?
I'd rather not get involved in politics.
If only others had the same good sense. If the prospect troubles you, sir, why not consider what you stand to gain instead? That is an exciting journey to a faraway continent.
I just couldn't help myself. I like the idea of saying no to the call of adventure as much as possible.
In the course of seeing new lands and meeting new people, you might find yourself moved to help Wuklumat after all. And if not, well, you quietly take your leave. A brazen plan, perhaps, but one that befits a veteran adventurer, you must agree. Such a journey would be the envy of many a scholar. Distant as it is, Tural remains largely unknown to us, with only meager records to be found in Numenor. The experiences to be had, all the things you might hear, feel, and think. Life is a series of journeys, my friend, and there's no telling what awaits us on the long road. But what's important is to be true to yourself as you walk it. Only then can we hope to be content when we arrive at the end of one and step forward into another. Ah, but there's an idea. I have a matter to attend to at the Agora. Please, go on inside. I will join you shortly.
Which one's the Agora? Alright, he wants us to go wait at the hotel. Welcome back, Ibuki. If you're looking for Wuklumat, she is currently within the others in her chambers. If you'd like, I could go fetch them for you. Understood. Please wait in the main hall. Oh, they actually have to wander over to the main hall. It doesn't just jump straight into the cutscene. And then you have to wait there, honestly.
You have the look of someone who's made up their mind. Go on then. Let's hear it.
I wish to go boldly go where I've never gone before.
Then you need me as much as I need you. Together we'll blaze new trails in Tural.
You're not planning to leave without us, are you? Alpha no, Alice! What are you two doing here?
We happened to cross paths at Numenor earlier, you see, and I told them about Wuklumat. And when we fortuitously met again at the Agora just now, they expressed an interest in meeting our visitor.
You must be the twins who are sneaking after Erenville as toads.
100 things about us you could have told her, and you chose that!
First impressions last.
"'Tis an honor and a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Your Highness. Alphino Leveilleur at your service, and this is my sister Alize."
Oh no, let's not do that. I really can't stand titles. So, you want to participate in the contest too, is that right?
Indeed we do. We've been assisting with the rebuilding effort in Garlemald. Yet while progress is being made, the question remains of how the nation might reconcile with its neighbors. We believe there is much we might learn from Tuliolal, a nation founded on unity. And in return for this honor, we would spare no effort in supporting your claim.
The more the merrier, I say. And I'd be keen to learn about Eorzea and Garlemald from you as well.
Having recruited so many committed and capable allies, I presume you have no need for my continued assistance?
She didn't even need to talk to the twins before they agreed to help her.
Nonsense! Like I told you before, you're indispensable. They're strong, aye, but strangers to our land. They need someone to guide them, to point out the dangers, and spare them grisly deaths. I can't think of anyone better suited to that task than you. What's more, despite your assertions, I know you haven't given up on the City of Gold.
As I recall, Kryl, you were the first to state your desire to visit Tural.
Perhaps I was. Still, I can't help but worry about being away, just when our order is beginning to find its feet again.
You have nothing to worry about. I haven't forgotten how you held the fort while I set off to explore Alzadal's legacy. It's only fair that I return the favor. Pray, leave the students to Ojika and me.
Oh boy, they're leaving her behind the attractive cat boy. I'm sure the fans will be livid.
But, Raha...
You want to retrace your grandfather's steps, don't you? This is a rare opportunity, and I insist that you seize it.
Thank you, Raha. Thank you.
Well, looks like it's settled. I'm counting on you all to help me win the throne.
I suppose now is a good time to show you what I spent a small fortune on at the Agora. There.
Are you allowed to just stick up posters all over the studium?
This, my friends, is the latest map of the world, created to celebrate our friendship with the Loporrits. Cast your eyes west of Sharlayan, for there it lies. The site of your next great adventure, Tural.
And it's going to hit us with credits for Endwalker because that is the very end of Endwalker. But we don't need to watch the credits. Can I have a look at... So we all live in this lower left corner. There's Ilzabad. Right, that's that. Garlemald, the Sea of Stars somewhere off in the very far distance. Don't know what Titan's doing here. And then if you sail directly across the sea, then you end up in Hingashi, Othard. I don't see it marking down the Garlemald Empire for some reason. Oh, wait, no, that's this chunk over here. Okay. Lest you wonder about your passage to Tural, Erenville will arrange a ship through his guild. You need only worry about your own preparations. Speaking of which, take this with you, a rugged and ready knapsack. May it serve you well in your adventures. Now, I'm not sure when departure will be, but rest assured I'll let you know when I hear something. Till then, please take your ease. Why do I have an orthodox coat of fending? Meanwhile, in Limsa Laminsa.
When does the next ship set sail?
May I ask your destination?
The north and east, I've already seen. I suppose I'll head west this time.
West, you say?
Meanwhile, in Old Sharlayan, you know, the place that we already were.
I see you've made up your mind. I had a feeling you'd be keen.
But to think that our comrades too are thither bound. Fate doth work in mysterious ways.
Indeed. It will be a grueling task, having to contend with them.
If the prospect doth trouble thee, 'tis not too late to decline the petition. Though thine expression would suggest thou art far from perturbed.
Oh, how could I possibly be, knowing what's to come?
Then let us delay no further and secure passage on a vessel.
Aye. This will be a mission to remember.
Don't look at me like that.
Come, my friend. We make for Tural.
You know, the moon just doesn't look as nice after you've been up there and seen how barren it is.
Tell me,
Have you been to the ruins beneath the waters of the Bounty?
That was the biggest practical joke Emmett Selk played on us. He told us, hey, there's this cool thing under the Sea of the Bounty, and it turns out to be the Radzat Han treasury, not just some random ruins that you can loot at your pleasure.
Or the treasure islands beyond the frozen waters of Blind Frost in Offerd's north. The fabled golden cities of the New World.
Weigh anchor, the tide is high, and dawn of new adventure nigh. Row forth to break horizon's bond, and tread the gilded path beyond. Gotta use this knapsack to make room, and I'm definitely gonna have to do some housekeeping for my inventory, I think. Ujika Tsuna Jika has a message for you. It's been an hour and a half, but we're finally starting Dawntrail. Welcome back, Ibuki. I've just had word from Erenville. It seems he's managed to secure passage to Toral aboard a guildship vessel. Why don't you wait in the main hall while I go and inform your travel companions? It should only take a moment. More waiting! I'm hyperactive. I'm not good at waiting. I guess if they haven't taken the poster down, then it's okay for Grahatia to stick it up there. Ojika gave us the good news. We've made ready to set sail at a moment's notice. The only one yet to arrive is Erenville himself. Ah, you're all here. It took some persuasion, but the Guilina's guildship has granted us places aboard a vessel bound for Toral. There'll be other passengers, researchers and artisans and the like, so we'll need to share deck space. That's fine, Erenville. I doubt anyone expected we'd have a ship all to ourselves. They're not casting off just yet, so if you have any lingering concerns, now is the time to voice them. I wouldn't call it a concern, but everyone's still clear on what it is we'll be doing in Toral, yes? We've not forgotten. The nation of Tuliolo is in the midst of deciding its next ruler. As your chosen allies, we shall assist you during the rite of succession and support your bid to become Dawn Servant. In addition to that, Alphano and I have another objective. As part of its reconstruction, Garlemald seeks to reconcile and engage with its neighbours. By visiting Toral, we hope to learn more about its myriad cultures interact with one another, how they might find common ground, develop stronger ties, the sorts of insights that might help our friends in Islabad. But we'll pursue this goal in our own time. You can rest assured we'll give the contest all due attention. That's all I ask. Otherwise, you're welcome to do as you like. You wanted to find out about your grandfather, right, Kryl? Yes, as far as we could determine from the old missive I found, he had been tasked with investigating the Golden City by your father, the Dawn Servant. Yet, oddly enough, we have no record of that investigation in our archives, leaving nothing to explain why the earring which accompanied the letter. Thus, for reasons both official and personal, I should very much like to get to the bottom of this mystery. I'm sure there'll be a chance to speak with Papa. You can get your answers right from the source. I look forward to meeting with him. In any case, you're not the only one with an interest in the City of Gold. The Golden City is a children's bedtime story. I'm part of this ski expedition only because the Third Promises commanded I serve as guide. Still playing the part of the stoic servant, I see. He is very tsundere. What of you? Don't you dare tell me you've changed your mind. We won't make you Dawn servant by standing here and talking about it. Ha! A woman of action. Right then, if all are committed to the journey, I say we make ready to depart. Actually, you know what? I think she's going to end up getting the Gabura voice, which is interesting to say the least. It's both extremely fitting and extremely not fitting. Eager as they are, the others have already left the harbour. We're not in danger of missing the boarding call, but maybe we should be on our way as well. Oh, you're gonna teleport me there. I thought I'd have to go to the Aetheryte Shard like every other time.
Savoring the moment? I can feel your excitement, your eagerness to explore the unknown.
Well, for once, the fate of the world doesn't rest on our shoulders. We might even get a chance to enjoy ourselves.
We need to put a ban on saying things like that.
Do not be so quick to relax. Oh, Tural may seem but a short sail away on a map. The vast seas between brim with peril. The treacherous waters of Shade's Triangle alone have claimed countless vessels. Even following the safe route plotted by Admiral Bufiswin herself, this will be no pleasure cruise.
Perhaps, but my voyage here was uneventful enough. Disappointingly so.
Either way, the two of you have first-hand experience, which will be of great comfort in the days ahead, I'm sure.
Aye, it's nothing new to us.
All aboard! We're casting off!
We really should get over to the ship before it leaves
It's
without
time.
us.
I trust you have everything you need?
All I need is a gun blade. If we're really, really lucky, we might just be able to make it to the point where I choose what my first area for actually doing level progression will be. But I don't know, there's quite a lot of
So
cutscenes.
does our ship cast off from the docks. We sail west, as Kattenram did some 80 years past, bound for the New World, known to her children as the continent of Tural.
Just wait, Papa. When this contest is said and done, it'll be your daughter who sits the throne. Me! Woklamat!
That can't be a safe place to stand, though.
sailing so far?
Aye, so far so good. But this sea, she's a fickle one.
I'll take my rest while I can then.
We left port what seems an age ago now, and we've seen naught but open water ahead. I knew Tural was far, but it's another thing to really know. Speaking of which, some of our fellow passengers have made this trip before. Several times, in fact. I was able to learn a few things about Tuliyollal and the right of succession. Since we still have a long way to go, why not have a chat with them yourself? I'm sure you have questions of your own.
We've got to do something to kill the time, right?
Did you look out across these same waters, Grandfather?
I didn't realize until this stream that she actually didn't have the earring until we started that previous story arc, where she added it about the same time she was planning on becoming a Pictomancer. The problem with there being actually quite a significant amount of time between the final patch of Endwalker and the first part of Dawntrail. Oh, this'll be my first visit to Tural. Pont Jane's the name. I work at its same aesthetics in Uldar, you see, but my employment with them came to an end. That's why I visited Sharlayan in hopes of starting over. While I was attempting and failing to find a new job, I seized the chance to board this vessel when I overheard room for another passenger had opened up. I'm told the Dawn Servant welcomes all regardless of origin, so Tuliyollal sounds like the perfect place to begin anew. Hopefully things will be better this time. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. I can feel my edge starting to dull on these long sea voyages. How about some light sparring later? I see you in Eorzea before. You're great and famous here. God, I've grown I had enough of playing this simpleton. There was a time when we took great pains to maintain the deception, but more of you Eorzeans coming to Tural, it's become impractical. Besides, my mercenary days are over. Too many of our warband have fallen. So we head home to lick our wounds. My story? Well, since you asked, I want to retrace the historic journey of the great Catamaran. You know, the first Eorls to set foot on Tural soil. Almost 80 years ago. Mamuljar's leader is said to have welcomed Catamaran with open arms and sent him home with a bounty of silverware as a token of friendship. But the real treasure was the crops he brought back. Potatoes, tomatoes, corn, which spread across Eorzea like wildfire. His grand adventure led to a culinary revolution. The tales say that Catamaran returned to Tural several times after that, but his ship vanished during his last recorded voyage. He was never heard from again. That even a seasoned explorer like him could meet such an end is a testimony to the ocean's peril. An adventurer, I presume? I'm a merchant myself, based in Uldar. Specialty imports and exports, Eorzean and Turalia are both. If this is your first time crossing the salt, as they say, do remember that the social mores of Eorzea are not necessarily the same as those over yonder. Consider this. It's not uncommon for the various races to be referred to instead by the names of certain clans. For the Mercodi, the Hetsaro, the Hrothgar, the Zupspral, not because every member of a given clan is one of the same race mind, but because many individuals of said race are associated with that clan. A fair assumption in most cases. Take care not to give offense. This makes sense, but it annoys me that it's not explained in more detail, like... where is it? When we go to Norvant, they change all the names. Larfell become dwarves, Elezen become elves, and so on. But they also have a part where they tell you what each of those races are called. Here, this guy he just gives you 2 of them, so you've got to figure out the rest from, well, blind guesswork. I'm told this vessel has been equipped with a barrier generator to protect it from storms. A reassuring thought, though I nevertheless pray there will be no need for it. You think maybe our work with Leviathan has maybe sparked a tiny bit of an industrial revolution here? Do you want to make a wager? We're taking bets on who will be sat in the Dawn Servant's shiny chair. There's 4 claimants to the throne in the right of succession, your young Uklumat being one of them, of course. But from what a Mamuja bloke was telling us, the other 3 are all strong contenders. Not many are keen to rest their coin on the 3rd promise. Because of course we're working for the underdog. It wouldn't be fair otherwise. Okay, that's our way back to Old Sharlayan, so I guess we just go up to the front and talk to Uklumat again. Or Kryle. Did you learn anything of interest? Oh, I hadn't heard about the clan names. We should have Uklumat and Erenville teach us the ones we should know. Actually, it's getting a little chilly up here on deck. Let's all gather in the cabin.
We're in for a proper storm, it seems.
How's your stomach? Any better?
I don't know what you mean. I don't get seasick.
Of course you don't.
I'm just feeling a little nauseous is all.
Isn't that what seasickness is?
Erenville, you were born in Tural, yes? Do many Viera live there?
The Shetona, as my people are called, have settlements mainly in the north, in Shaktural.
And your family?
I know nothing of my father, not even his name. As for my mother...
You can't start a dungeon. We haven't even gotten a single level. In the game, at least.
Oh dear.
Come, we should lend what aid we can.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? Just sit quietly and twiddle our thumbs?
I have not seen the ocean rage with such fury before or since. The heaving waves tossed our ship about like a toy, sending sailors tumbling. the dauntless Alizé, quick to the rescue, was almost lost to the sea herself. Meanwhile, our champion rushed to deploy the vessel's magical defenses, and thereby shield us from the lightning.
That is definitely the Leviathan
What an
shield.
extraordinary life she must lead to be able to operate such a device with practiced ease. Boklama, too, threw herself into the rescue efforts, though one might have mistaken her for another soul in distress. By the time the unruly seas had calmed, our strength was all but spent, and we had yet to even glimpse the shores of Tural. In retrospect, of course, that battle against the storm would prove a fitting prelude to the coming contest for the throne.
Someday I need to go look for an overworld Liminzen warship so I can explore it all properly. Land ho?
Morning. Joining us for some fresh air? Seems my belly has settled along with the weather, but I'll feel much better once we're on solid ground. Ugh. Can't be much farther now, can it?
Seabirds. Land must be near. You need only hold out a while longer.
For a dark moment, I thought the ocean might swallow us. Glad to have my pessimism proven wrong.
In other good news, I examined the sailor who took a fall, and he's faring well. I'm sure he'll make a full recovery.
Good news indeed. If all's well, then we needn't delay in launching the landing boat. Ships have to lower anchors some way from shore. Too close, and they risk having their underbellies ripped open by the reefs that crowd Tuliola's coasts. Come.
Thanks for bringing us all this way.
Ha! We only did what we were paid to do. Couldn't hardly set you adrift halfway. If anything, it should be us thanking you for helping us through that beast of a storm. As a matter of fact, everyone's starting to fancy your chances in the contest. At this rate, we won't be able to lay wagers no more.
Then I better not let you down. Oh. Easy, stomach. Easy.
Fortunately, I don't think sailing is a needed skill for the Dawn Servant here.
We're the last to board. If there's nothing left to say, then let's shove off, shall we?
Blue seas, clear skies, and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
There, look, my friends. Behold the scene of our next great adventure.
At last, we are come to the land you call the New World. To my home, Tural.
It looks a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Alright, we're rolling up on 2 hours stream time, but let's go a little bit more. I know it's very unfair of me, but I'd want to get to the point where it says, okay, pick your starting zone.
Gods, I've seen cities with an impressive mix of cultures, but this is something else.
Is that a... No. I've never seen Vanu feathers in that color before.
You'll find much here you never knew existed. There may be a sea route now, but visitors to Tuliholal are still few and far between. And as we don't build seafaring ships, only a handful of Turali ever venture abroad.
Hence why you have landing ships rather than a proper dock.
Mamulja sellswords mostly. Those willing to play the fool sail with Lominsan merchants to secure employment in Eorzea.
I suppose that makes us a rare sight in your country.
Rare and currently undocumented. Were there some forms we should fill out or...
Forms? Did you forget who you're traveling with?
Erenville. He filled out the forms for us, I bet.
You are outsiders? Visitors to Tural?
We are.
Our nation is soon to hold a right of succession to choose its next Dawn servant. We will not abide interference from foreign agents seeking to foment trouble. What brings you to Tuliyollal?
I can answer that. These fine people are allies in my succession bid.
Third promise. If you vouch for them, then all is well. Of course.
Let's flaunt some authority, why not?
Please, accept our apologies.
No need to bow and scrape. That our soldiers are so diligent in their duties fills me with pride.
We'll be continuing our patrol then.
Well, well. You really are a figure of authority here.
Are you suggesting I don't look the part?
Ah, she got rid of the turban. Thank goodness. It was really bugging me to see that turban on her head. It just felt off.
Anyway, first things first. I bid you welcome to Tuliyollal.
I have to have it said, people have given me grief about this, but I much prefer the nighttime theme in Tuliyollal than the daytime theme. According to Erenville, the Vanu I saw belongs to a clan known as the Hanu Hanu. It seems they share more than a physical resemblance. What an amazing city, as lively as Uldar, and even more colourful. I wonder what kind of trouble those soldiers are expecting. Ah, it's so nice to feel that familiar breeze again. I wasn't sure my stomach would make it. Well, despite suffering the storm's efforts to the contrary, here we are, safe and sound. You have arrived in Tuliyollal. You can return to the city anytime by speaking with the sprightly sailor in Scholar's Harbour. While being on solid ground has improved Uklamar's mood, her stomach appears to be lagging behind. Mountain Chromite Weapon Coffer. Right then, first things first. Still a bit queasy. No more boats for a while. I realize we've just arrived, but we should get you familiar with the city before the rite of succession begins. No arguments there. I should very much like to explore. Then I'll guide you. Are you sure you're in any condition to do so? Aha! We were wondering who these strange folks were. So the third promise has found herself some new followers then. Followers? Uklamar, are you unwell? No, not at all. Couldn't be better. Third promise does not get seasick. No, sir. As for my hand-picked entourage here, I've recruited them to help me win the rite of succession. I was about to show them around the city, in fact. That sounds lovely. But a group of foreigners is going to attract attention, especially if they're in the company of the third promise. Everyone will be curious. We certainly were. your siblings have a tendency to command a respectful distance, but you're just so easy to approach. And I enjoy it so much when you do. Please don't ever worry that you're a bother to me. You're very kind. Good day to you, Third Promise. They did have a point. Wuklamat is technically royalty here. Like it or not, a person of her station surrounded by this many outsiders is bound to draw a crowd. Well, what do you mean, technically? I suggest we move in 2 groups as so to attract less attention. Just technically ignoring me then. Ibuki, you and Cryo can come with me. I'll take the twins then. We'll get in touch once we've had a good look around. That voyage was hard on all of us, so take it slow and recuperate. We have enough time for that. Enjoy your wanderings. Perhaps we should wait a bit, at least until Wuklamat's nausea subsides. No need for that. Look, I'm ready to go. Ugh. Tuliolo isn't going anywhere. Let's give Wuklamat a little more time. I'm fine now, really. Can't stand around all day feeling sorry for myself with the contest looming and all. Now then, seeing as we're already here, I might as well tell you about the harbour. Erinville already mentioned the reefs in our coastal waters, which explains why you don't see any big ships moored at the docks. Only vessels with shallow drafts can navigate the bay, mostly small fishing boats or barges ferrying cargo up and down the rivers from main inland settlements. Much of the incoming traffic is from Yogg-Tural, the southern landmass. The clans there produce various goods for export. Their wares are unloaded here and carted off to the merchant stores in the neighbouring markets. Speaking of which, Bayside Bevy should be in our next stop. Your next quest objective requires escorting. Learn more about this with the button. So something I want to make sure I do is to keep an eye out for the optional dialogue you can have with your followers, because they're generally worth it. This is Bayside Bevy, Tuliola's largest marketplace. Being right on the harbour, everything from fresh fish to imported wares go directly to the shelves. Anything you want, they most likely have. Oh, right, I should mention that here in Tuliolo, we buy things with Pel, a currency the Pelu created. But don't worry, more and more traders coming for Eosa. Most shops are happy to accept Gil. There's also Waku Wakamaki, another market to the east of here, but that can wait for another time. I have other places I want to show you first. Next we'll head back a bit, then north upwards to a certain plaza. Can't wait to see the look on your faces. Always grab the Aetherites whenever you see the Aethernet shards whenever you see them. You don't want to come back later and have to hunt for them. What do you think of that, eh? Goodness me, you have Aetherites in Tuliolo? I think I told you before, but my brother Koana spent 3 years studying in Sharlayan. He fell in love with the nation and its ways and brought back to us the knowledge of Aetherite construction. Papa warmed to the idea at once, had one built immediately. Did you do the tuning thing? If you're ready to continue, we'll head down again and up to the slope to the side. Right at the top is the gate that leads to Zaktural. Let's make a stop at Bright Plume Post, though. That's the headquarters for the Land Discard. Alright, I think it's time for a new minion. And it is the 9S Automaton. Trudging up and down all these slopes and stairs is exhausting. I understand now where Wuklamar gets her endless endurance. We have a lot of narrow winding streets that crawl up the sides of the mountain. As you can see, the builders made sure the city's main thoroughfares were wide enough to accommodate wagons. It's cities like this that make me wish I could bring a mount into a city, because it is quite a walk between each Aethernet shard. Here we are, Great Plume Post. The soldiers stationed here are responsible for defending Tuliolo and preserving the peace. The Landsguard are led by our nation's strongest warrior, and so naturally, Papa has commanded them since the beginning. At least until 3 years ago when Zorljar took over as commander. The title is no empty honor, it means the first promise is considered equal to the Dawn Servant in martial strength. Meanwhile, I haven't even managed to... Well, I'll discuss my brothers and their accomplishments later. Alphino and Alisaie should be around to hear it too. Come on, it's time I showed you the Skygate. It's right at the north end of Talonmarch. Oh, it's north of here. That's a big gate. What's it keeping out? Massive, isn't it? And on the other side is an equally massive bridge to match. Both were constructed by a race of giants, the Yokhui. Strictly speaking, Tural is actually two separate continents. Yok-Tural, the southern lands of the mother, and Zak-Tural, the northern lands of the father, which lie beyond the bridge. Legends say it used to be one great landmass, but long, long ago, the two gods fought a titanic battle, and when one threw the other to the ground, the impact was so devastating as to split the continent in twain. This sounds like Xenoblade 1. A familiar sounding tale. I am put in the mind of the conflict between Hydaelyn and Zodiac. But getting back to Zak-Tural, those lands are also part of the Tuliolo nation, correct? That's right. Isn't my father incredible? He united the peoples of two continents into a single nation. The many clans of Tural have been at war for generations. It was only when Papa traveled the lands and put a stop to their myriad conflicts that we finally had peace. And that's the main reason I want to win the throne, so I can preserve the peace he built. But I see you're more interested in what's beyond the gate than hearing about my aspirations. Crossing the bridge to Zak-Tural requires a special travel pass. Unfortunately, they won't issue any new permits until the Rite of Succession is over. I promise to get you one when I'm Dawn Servant, but until then, you'll just have to wait. It's where all the high-level areas are. We won't be able to do anything about that until we finish the low-level areas first. I wish we could go there now. Be patient. I swear that once the throne is mine, the travel permit is yours. We must have covered half the city by now. Tuliolo is unlike any other place I've visited. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. I'm going to have to start selling off these coffers because 645 is not as good as the Serendurum equipment that you pick up from Poetics. It's not until level 94 that you start to get upgrades. Buklama is ready to commence the second half of your tour. We'll head west next towards the Arch of Dawn. The dirigible landing is on the way. You have dirigibles too? Tuliolo certainly doesn't want for methods of travel. We get by. Now if you've seen enough of this area, let me know and we'll continue on. The Arch of Dawn is on the other side of the city. Speak up if you see something that interests you as we walk. More escorting. Okay, it's going to be a long walk because the Aethernet shard doesn't cut down on travel time. We have Jog now, which boosts movement speed while out of battle after sprint ends, but the problem is that I don't feel like it's that much of a speed boost. I'm still struggling to conceive how one could construct an entire city on the side of a mountain. This was originally the site of the Yokhui Temple. The giants built it when they were first making the bridge to Zaktural to appease the gods who slumbers in the Great Ocean Trench. After the Yokhui withdrew, the temple stood empty for centuries, so when Papa was establishing his new nation, he saw a structure he could refurbish into a palace, sitting practically in the center of Tural. He gathered artisans to do the work, and the houses they built for themselves because the foundation became the foundation of the city you see today. Speaking of houses, we'll pass through the Resplendent Quarter, the biggest residential district in Tuliolo. We climb these sets of stairs here, all the way up. You're gonna wear out poor Kryl. She's only got little Lalafell legs. Minion roulette. Oh no, 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 we can't bring Mandeville here. This place isn't ready for Mandeville. Papa's palace is called Volok Shunsa, which roughly translates to invincible resilience. You probably want to take a close look. We'll come back here later. Let's move on for now. The sheer scale of the place is incredible. I wonder what the carving at the top represents. This looks like that one pyramid in Stormblood, actually. I'm pretty sure it's not related. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it to the route split. It's taking so long to introduce ourselves to everywhere. Ah well. So, this is the Resplendent Quarter. What manner of people live here? Well, we have residents from all the Yoktural clans. Mamuja, Zik, Nixelbra, Pelu Pelu, Moblin, Hanu Hanu. We also have Tonawata, Hetzaru, Shetona, who moved south from their ancestral lands in Zaktural. In essence, it's a gathering of people from every corner of Tural. A true representation of Tuliolo's diverse character, the adornments on each building contribute to the eclectic cultural aesthetic. It's also beautiful. Please don't say eclectic cultural aesthetic ever again, it's a tongue twister. I'm glad you think so. Come, we continue down the stairs. That big drum there is called the Dawn Herald. They play it for formal occasions, like when honoring the Landsguard's return from a dangerous duty. I tried hitting it with my axe once and ripped the skin. Earned me a proper scolding, let me tell you. I think that was the time that Papa held me upside down by the ankle. Oh, that big gong. That is indeed a big gong. I've never seen such an enormous drum. What could one even use to beat such an instrument? Someone else? Welcome! If it's an alpaca you'll need, then look no further. Before we get you settled up, I'll need to add your name to our register. This will make things smoother the next time you need a ride. We have nowhere to take the alpaca. So there is an Aethernet shard here to grab before we're finished. And here are dirigibles. Not bad, eh? I heard other nations use airships to sail the skies, but you'll only find balloons in Tuliolo. We have them for the exact same reason as the Aetherites. Koana brought back the plans from Sharlayan, and Papa thought them fantastic and commissioned their construction. This was around 3 years ago. Since that time, we've added flights to other settlements. Trade with frontier communities has never been easier. But that's enough about dirigibles. The Arch of Dawn awaits! Not yet, we still have to deal with the Aethernet shard. I'm not that attention deficit that I'll forget to pick up the Aethernet. Oh, we've got about 7 in-game minutes before it swaps over to the daytime theme. 5, 4, 3. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I misread the second number. It should be 12 minutes. 11, 10, etc. This is it, the Arch of Dawn. When the Giants were still here, it was known as Yoktural Landsgate. But when Papa founded the Tuliolal, everyone began using its present name in honor of his great achievement. Through this gate is Kozumakua, the wetlands south of the city. Depending on what the right of succession asks of us, we may end up going in that direction. Kozumakua. Ma'ua. Oh, that's a mouthful. I don't remember any of the names for this place. Speaking of which, what were those fluffy animals we passed by earlier? Ah, those are alpacas! Fearsome four-legged fiends! Fearsome? They seem quite placid to me. You'll learn soon enough, Cryo. You'll learn soon enough. Forget the alpacas. I have something far more important to show you. Come along. Wuklamat has a grudge against alpacas. Oh boy, I feel like this is going to take the rest of the episode. I say, I'm so used to Let's Playing, not streaming. If you wish to learn the history of Tuliolo, look no further. These stone pillars, you mean? Alright, I feel like when we get access to the rest stops which are over there, that's where we have to call the stream because it's now pushing past 3 PM for me. Krile regards the stone pillars curiously. What's so special about these pillars, if I may ask? At a glance, they might look like ordinary stone decorations, but if you take a really good look, you'll see there's something much more interesting. The following event cannot be staged. You may wish to cancel any pending Duty Finder registrations. Investigate. Pictures? Wait, no, these are glyphs! They seem to tell a series of stories, many of them featuring a two-headed mammal Jat. Oh, then these must be... That's right, it follows the exploits of my father, Gulu Jaja, and his journey to unite our lands. We call it the Tuliyollal Saga. The deeds he performed and the bonds he forged, all immortalized in stone. There's no better way to learn how Tuliyollal came to be. Study them as long as you like. Oh, you just click. Okay. This pillar tells the lay of the Brotherhood. It depicts the scene where Papa granted an audience to the foreign explorer, something. I can never remember the name. You mean Ketanram? Ah, that's the one. Ketanram's arrival in Tural is what prompted Papa to embark on his own journey. It said the two grew to be close friends, brothers in spirit, if not in blood. But no one knows what became of the explorer in later years. Ketanram's disappearance is a mystery in Eorzea as well. The records say he travelled between our lands and yours for a while, but then it's assumed he was lost at sea. Here, we have the Lay of Reeds. This is the story of when Papa visited the Hanu in their village in Kozomauka. Ah, the people of Bluffno almost mistook for Vanu, if not for the colourful plumage. He spent a fair bit of time among the Vanu in the Sea of Clouds, so it's no surprise he took an interest in your countrymen. I don't know how it is with your Vanu, but our Hanu are a bright and cheerful sort. They hold this festival once every year. Very famous and a lot of fun. This one recounts the lay of her past. As you can probably tell, the figure depicted here is of the Ixabral, like me. For decades, the Ixabral and Mamouja were at war for total control of the forest of Yaktel. The actions Papa took to end the conflict have since been hailed as the first steps in the founding of Tuliyollal. There is a clan of Hrothgar in Bosnia known as the Helions. In their society, the women rule as queens and the men as devoted subjects. Yet here in Tural, Ixabral women and men appear to be of equal status. How dramatic culture can vary with the location. Let's see. This one is the Lay of Pots, which depicts the moblins of Kozomauka. They might wear odd masks and sound weirdly muffled when they talk, but the gold and silver work they sell is the best you'll find anywhere. Moblin goods are the standard when it comes to gift giving. Clearly the Vanu aren't the only people with distant Turali counterparts. If you're done with the first half, we can move on to the second. The Lay of Gold. This pillar shows one of the Pelu Pelu, whose homeland is in Urkopacha. Having created our currency, the Pelu are rightfully known as the Merchant Clan. They oversee Tuliolo's markets, and their travelling peddlers are a common sight no matter where you go in Tural. So they're all done, Lalafels. Don't let their size fool you. They might be mistaken as children, but beneath those beaked masks they are clever and calculating traders. Oh, this one is my favourite, the Lay of Ice. It depicts the battle between legendary Tural Vidral, Valiramanda. I should explain. A Tural Vidral is a creature that has lived far beyond its usual lifespan and awakened to preternatural power. Tataru described the Far Eastern auspices in a similar fashion. Could this be the same phenomenon? Valiramanda itself was dubbed the Sky Ruin, a name earned for the destruction and terror it visited upon Tural every time it stirred from its slumber. But 80 years or so ago, its ruinous reign was brought to an end. After a great struggle, Papa and his comrades managed to overcome the raging Vidral and sealed it away in the Urkopacha mountains. Despite its reputation, however, Valiramanda is also a symbol of power. That's why you'll see its likeness in Tuliolo's national emblem and adorning the banners at the palace. Ah, the Lay of Pruth. That big fellow is of the Yokhui, the largest of Tural's peoples. These giants once used their great size and strength to establish a dominion encompassing all of Yok-Tural. Having brought the southern reaches to heel, they then turned northwards, setting their sights on Tural. You recall that massive bridge they built beyond the Skygate. Sometime after launching their northern campaign, however, they just gave up. They abandoned the lands they'd conquered and withdrew into the mountains of Urkopacha. I've never seen any of their kind so much as set foot in the city. This was a people with the power and resourcefulness to raise a temple on the mountaintop and build a bridge across the sea with stone. What would move them to renounce their ambitions and their place in Turali history? Oh, this one is unmarked. Papa said he left a blank pillar for the next chapter of Tuliolo's history, whatever that might be. How do you feel of history then? Yes, thank you. Glad to hear it. You know, I feel awfully hungry all of a sudden. No surprises there, seeing I couldn't keep anything down for a while. But now I think I'm ready to eat again. So, let's go have ourselves a bite of a local delicacy. Come, I'll take you to one of the best restaurants in the city. I like the sound of that. As I said in chat, I think now's the point where I want to wrap this up. So until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around. I need to go have my lunch.